Thank you very much for joining us today. All the questions that I'm going to ask you today have been received from young people in East London. So the first question, I'm going to start at the very beginning. Why did you want to become a nurse?
I wanted to be a nurse from about the age of 4 or 5. I lived in a children's home until I was 9, and one of the nuns used to treat my eczema that I had in on my arms and behind my knees. She used to be able to change the dressings without causing any pain because she used to make me laugh. And whereas the other nun, I mean, they weren't deliberately trying to hurt me or anything, but this other nun had the right touch. And then I discovered at some point that she was also something called a nurse. And I decided that's what I wanted to be. Yeah.
So you've had an incredible career in nursing, but I think racism has always been a problem. So I just wondered, how have attitudes towards people of colour changed during your career?
Well, first of all, there's more of us because I'm now 73. I'm very old. And I was born in Birmingham, England. And when I was born, there weren't that many. There weren't anywhere near as many black people as there are today in England, is my country. Mm-hmm. And so there are many more people, first of all. So people are more used to it. I was treated as a rarity, and on the whole, it wasn't bad, but occasionally, interesting thing is that I washed my face 10 times when I was young, and that was to be white like my friends. So obviously there was something that made me think it would be better if I could change my skin color, even though I was a young child. So there's a lot of things that have improved. For example, there have been laws that have been passed to make racism illegal. However, in the last few years, I've noticed that some people seem to be more confident about being racism, and you can see it in the media, you can see it on social media in particular. And so I think it's this business of going 2 steps forward and 1 step backwards. Yeah.
Which brings me quite nicely on to the next question. Is there what kind of discrimination still exists today for black nurses, and are some of the hurdles that you face still in place?
I think the most obvious example that black nurses experience discrimination is that on the whole they don't progress in their careers in the manner with which they are qualified to and in the manner in which they want to. And so that is, the evidence is there, at least the evidence is there. Before, nobody was collecting this sort of information. People weren't asking nurses about their own feelings. Neither were they recording anonymous information through questionnaires, for example. Neither were they looking at the actual data, which is, because this data is now obtained routinely in terms of where are nurses in the organization in terms of at the bottom or at the top, in the middle, whatever. It's very clear that they are underrepresented in the higher grade jobs, the jobs that give you more responsibility, give you more money, and give you a greater sense of achievement.